right, let's do our radio check here. Stacy, give me a wave if you're hearing me clearly. And Mike, give me a wave. And Don. All right, excellent. Windows up on both sides, please. Get that AC working so that you're comfortable in there. All right, gentlemen, and ladies, we're going to be heading out here shortly. The main goal of this session is to spend time learning which way the road goes. Where should I place the car on the track as we're going around the circuit? So, the first part, learning where the road goes, comes from getting your eyes up, looking ahead, gathering information from off in the distance so you can start to put all the pieces together. So don't focus on any one thing too long. Keep your eyes scanning. See that big picture. Also, copy where I'm driving this red Stingray. I'm going to be on the line that we want you to drive. So wherever I place my tires, you place your tires. If we're going by an apex cone and my tires are on that curb, I want your tires on that curb as well. So copy where I'm going. I'm not going to go anywhere you shouldn't be. So this is a great time to learn that process. We all have manual transmission cars, so we're all going to be cruising around in third gear for the first few laps. We're going to take advantage of a rare opportunity when we get to actually go slow around a racetrack and actually soak in the details. So we're going to be going third gear, no shifting down, just cruising around, learning the road, taking a couple of complexities out of the picture. So we're going to avoid the distraction of shifting. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So we will be doing some rotations. I'll talk you through that process, and we'll learn the basic process of how to leave the track once we're done with the session. So we'll learn some basics here in this session. All right, so let's put our cars in gear. Parking brakes released. Use that Hendon start that we talked about this morning, where we ease away without touching the throttle. Get that car to roll nice and easy, and then let the clutch up the rest of the way, and then touch the throttle. All right, so we are, as I mentioned, we're going to go nice and slow the first few laps. Take your time, look around the track. I'm going to be talking about what you need to be looking for out there. Once we get going in third gear, keep your hands on the steering wheel at 9 and 3. So that means we rest our thumbs on top of the spokes, wrap your fingers lightly around the rim of the wheel, and we just keep our hands there like they are Velcroed in place. There's no need to move our hands off the steering wheel. The only time, with a manual transmission, the only time we take our hands off the steering wheel is to make a gear change. So we'll start learning that 9 and 3 hand position here. We're going to let that other group get a little bit of a lead on us, and then we'll head out on the track and work our way up to third gear. All right, off we go here. So Don, followed by Mike and Stacy. And from this point on, start copying where I'm placing the car on the road. All right, you're going to see me putting my tires on that curb, and you'll feel a vibration. You'll hear a rumble. That's good. Over here on the left is a turning cone. We wait till we get to the turning cone before we move the steering wheel. We never, ever turn in before we get to a turning cone. That causes problems later on in the corner. So make sure we look for those turning cones, wait until we get there, and then change direction of the car. So looking down the other end of the straight here, Doc, we're seeing countdown boards counting down from 5 to 1. past the one board is the turning cone for turn one. And what these countdown boards mean is that this is a braking area. Once we decide where we want to start applying the brakes each lap, we can do it consistently based on where we are compared to these boards. So that's all they are, is a reference point that doesn't blow away when the wind picks up. Turning cone on the left and apex on the right, so you're going to see me going straight along the left side of the road till I get to the turning cone. Then I turn in and I put my right tires on the curb next to this orange cone, and I get that feedback from the rumble strip on the curb. There you go. Over to the left side here, Don, because we have another turning cone here for turn two. And around the corner on the right there, you'll see the apex. So we're going to come over near this tall orange cone here at the top of the rise. And then as we come out of turn two, look down at the road and see where the paving machine went through here 3 times. Come out to the middle run of paving. We don't want to get any close. All right, coming up the hill here, more countdown boards tell us we have a braking area. This is turn 3, very interesting corner. Turning cone on the left, but down the hill and around the corner is the apex. So make sure we keep moving that steering wheel until our tires are on the curb as we go by that apex cone. Drive right on it. Perfect. Sweep out to the left here, Don, next to this curb on the left side of the road. And that way we have the best exit possible from turn 3, and we'll carry the most speed out of that corner. We work our way back over to the right for turn 4. Shortly after turn 4 is turn 5. We don't have a lot of time to look for turn 5, so as we get to our apex here in turn 4, we should already be looking past that cone to this curb up here on the right, because once we're going faster, this will be our braking area from one end of that curb to the other. We turn at that turning cone, touch the curb on the left there, and pull over to the right side of the road as we exit the corner. Now we are between turn 5 and turn 6 on the inner straight. This is a good acceleration area, and with the countdown boards here on the right, it tells us it's also a braking area, so we'll be slowing down here once we're going faster. Turning cone on the right, apex on the left. Now turn 6 here is a little different, because as we go past the apex, we're going to stay to the left side of the road in order to position our car better for an entry into the S's. The turning cone here on the left reminds us when to turn. In the S's, we have a right turn, a left turn, and another right turn. And the last right turn is the only important corner, and that's preceded by a turning cone there on the left. So get to the turning cone, turn sharper to the right, and then we have an opportunity to accelerate between turns 7 and 8. Turning into turn 8 here, look across the other side and see the second apex cone. Turn 8 is one corner with 2 apexes, and we will go through that corner with virtually no steering wheel motion at a constant speed. Coming out of turn 8, we go down the middle of the road, go straight for a moment, and then just like turn 6, turn 9, we stay to the left until we get to the turning cone. Now, never turn before you get to a turning cone, especially that one there at the entrance of turn 10. That gives us a much better angle into 10, and we can get on our throttle sooner and go faster down the straight. And if we miss that turning cone, if we turn in too early, well, our exit from that corner is compromised and we lose a lot of speed. We'll do another lap here with Don behind me, so looking down here, Don. Turning cone on the left, apex on the right. Now, don't stare at the cones as they go by your car. Your peripheral vision will see them go past your vehicle, because we should already be looking around the corner and down the road to see what's coming up next. So as we approach this turning cone, start looking over to the apex and let your peripheral vision see the turning cone. As we approach the apex cone, start looking up towards turn 2, so your peripheral vision will see that apex cone go by. Your senses will also tell you if you got on the curb and you felt that vibration and heard that rumble. All right, we're going to come in near the apex cone here, and remember, only out to the middle of the road as we start looking up the hill towards turn 3. All right, Don, come over near this white cone on the right here. That's called a near apex cone, and that just reminds us to straighten up this straight section of this track here 3 to 5 feet from any white cone you see. All right, we turn at the turning cone, and make sure we keep adjusting our steering wheel and putting our tires on the curb next to the apex cone here on the right. So everybody should hear that noise as your tire goes over the curb there. Drive on the curb. Excellent job there, Don. Out to the left side of the road and over to the right to prepare for turn 4. All right, again, this will be a braking area once we're going faster. We'll turn at the turning cone, but we're going to look past the apex for that curb up there on the right at the entrance to turn 5. We need to see where that is so we can get over to the right, get in position, so we can brake from one end of this curb to the other once we're going quicker. Make sure we turn the wheel sharp enough and get your left tires on the apex curb there on the left side. Sweep out to the right side of the road as we approach turn 6. Excellent. So turn 6 is one of our 2 corners where we stay to the left as we come out of the corner. So we'll scan your eyes around the corner. And as we turn into turn 6 here, look for that turn-in cone up there on the left at the entrance to the S's so we can visualize where we're going to go and what we're going to do, just like we're practicing in the Serpentine this morning. Now in the S's, I mentioned the last right turn's the only important corners, and these first 2 are kind of throwaway corners. We just use those to enable us to get over to the turn-in cone. Then we turn sharper to the right for turn 7, and then we can unwind and accelerate over to the entrance of turn 8. Good. Into turn 8. Look across and see that second apex. We should see both apexes as we're coming into the corner. We come off the second apex here, we go down the middle of the road, go straight for a moment, and then we turn left and look down the left side of the road for the turn-in cone down there for turn 10, so we don't ignore that. Get to that point, start looking to the right into the apex, and everything but the left tire over this curb at the inside of turn 10. Excellent. All right, as we come out onto the straight, Don, I'm going to have you pull all the way over to the right, slow the car down, and we'll have Mike and Stacy come by on the left, and you'll tuck in at the back there, Don. All right, Don, looking ahead here. Braking zone indicated by the countdown boards. Turn-in cone up there on the left, apex on the right, so now we have an idea of what we're going to deal with. We can have a plan in place before we get to the corner. So remember, do not turn until you get to the turn-in cone, but already start looking around the corner. Let your peripheral vision see that turn-in cone go by the center. Into the apex, start looking for the turn-in for turn 2. We need to know where those things are early so we can start making adjustments to the steering to get us to that position nice and smoothly. All right, over near our apex cone here, out to the middle of the road as we look up towards turn 3. Come over near the white cone on the right here where the road dips down. And then we'll get in position for turn 3. So scan the corner, see the turn-in, see that apex, and remember, we need to keep adjusting the steering wheel to get the car to the apex. And the payoff is that when we're going faster, we can actually start accelerating down the hill. So gravity will help pull us out of this corner if we get to that apex. All the way out to the left side here. All right. And smoothly back over to prepare for turn 4. Lining up so when we do start slowing down for this corner, we're going straight. Always try to slow down in a straight line. As we turn into turn 4, look ahead for that curb there on the entrance to 5. Straight from one end of that curb to the other, turn at the turn-in cone, and as you come around the corner, look down the other end of the straight, sweep out to the right side of the track at the exit of turn 5. Excellent. All right, so now we see turn 6, and we're thinking about staying to the left as we leave this corner and preparing for the approach to the S's. Looking for that turn-in cone up there on the left to remind us, and then look through the S's and you'll see 3 apex cones and a lonely turn-in cone. The last turn-in is a turn-in cone, and the last apex are the important ones. So into the turn-in cone, turn sharper to the right, apex the curb, and then unwind over to the left side. And now look ahead and see turn 8. You can see both apex cones. Now we know what's coming up. We can go through here in one smooth, constant arc with virtually no steering wheel motion, ending up in the middle of the road where we go straight for a moment, and then down the left side as we look for that turn-in cone up there on the left at the entrance to turn 10. Turn at the turn-in cone. Everything but the left tires over the curb here, and come out near the end of this curbing on the left as we unwind onto the straight. Very nice, looking good there. Mike, over to the right if you would, please. And Stacy, followed by Don, come on by on the left. And you'll tuck in at the back there, Mike. All right, Stacy, looking ahead, countdown boards up there. That tells us we'll be slowing down there once we're going faster. Turn-in cone on the left. Apex around the corner on the right there. So we continue in a straight line here, so all of our slowing down is going to be done up to the turn-in cone while we're going straight. Then we're going to turn into the corner, Tires on the curb next to this cone, but look ahead for that entrance to turn 2 so we can tell when to start moving the car over to the left to get to this turn-in cone here. There you go, good. Nice correction there because you lifted your eyes, saw a little bit more information, and helped you make a good decision. So keep your eyes up, keep looking around, look further ahead. That's typically a problem. People just don't look far enough ahead, and they don't know what's coming up. All right, so over near the white cone here, but start looking up the hill for the countdown boards and the turn-in cone, and we can see the apex over there on the right. Remember to continue turning the steering wheel as we turn into turn 3 here so we can get our tires on the apex curve. Yeah, just turn the wheel a little bit more there, Stacy. We kind of froze the steering wheel and the car stopped turning and we missed the apex. So make sure we keep adjusting the steering wheel position so that your tires end up on that curbing. Every apex on the track on the curbing. Same thing here, turn at the turn-in cone, left tire's on the curb, but look ahead for the curbing up here on the right. We're going to parallel that as we line up for the turn-in cone. Turn sharp enough to get your left tires on this curb on the inside of the corner. Excellent, and out to the right side. Good. So now we're starting to think about turn 6 and how we're going to set up for the S's. So we're going to see our braking area here, so we'll get enough to get the car slowed down before we turn. And then we're going to stay to the left as we come out of this corner. So as we enter the corner, look past the apex, look up there for that turn-in cone up there on the left to remind us. Now look through the S's, find the turn-in cone up there before the last right-hander, and make sure we get our car next to that before we turn to the right. As we come around turn 7, our left turn signal's on, and that's the protocol that we use to indicate to anybody watching that we're getting ready to exit the track, so there's no surprises there. So we enter the track exit lane, and this is where we slow the car down to our 15-mile-an-hour paddock speed limit. All right, nice and smooth here. Now, we're going to head back out onto the track, and we're going to start going fast enough where we need to start slowing down for the corners. So we're going to learn how to balance the car. All of our slowing down for the corner ends at the turn-in cone, so we need to see where those are so we can get our speed adjusted so that at the turn-in cone, as we begin to turn into the corner, we do not need to slow down anymore. We have that all done up to that point. As we turn in, though, we're not done with the brakes. We are dragging the brakes very lightly as we